This week sees the release of the new old school RuneScape boss, the Doom of Mokahotel. I don't know how to say that. I hope I'm saying it right. And along with it, the final installment of Valamor Part 3. This boss is going to be old school RuneScape's first delve boss. So what that means is you will take on wave 1. The boss will then burrow further into its cave and you'll have to take on delve level 2 all the way up until level 8. The further you go down in the delve, the more likely it is that you will be able to get the unique rewards from the Doom. And those rewards are very, very nice. So in order to take on this boss, you are going to need, first of all, no friends. That's right, this is a solo-only encounter. The first solo-only encounter we've seen in old school for quite some time. Jagex have been leaning more towards duo encounters and also some more than 2-player encounters, but solo hasn't been around for a little bit. So this is the first solo-only boss in quite some time. On top of that, you are going to need to complete the quest, The Final Dawn. This is going to be coming out with the release of Valamor Part 3, so for some reason, very annoyingly, you are going to have to complete a quest on release to be able to fight the boss. Personally, I hate it when they do this. Let us complete the quest the week before the boss so that we can just start killing the boss as soon as it comes out. But regardless, you will have to complete the quest. So taking a closer look at the delve, there are 8 different levels that you will have to beat, all in a single inventory. Very similar to Colosseum, very similar to the Inferno. After each level, you will be given the chance to take your rewards. Very similar to the Colosseum. Each wave, you'll be given a reward, and you'll be able to either take the reward or continue on for some extra rewards. Now, level 8, if you manage to make it and beat level 8, is repeatable. So you can stay on level 8 for as long as you like. You can continue repeating level 8 as long as you can continue completing it on that singular inventory. Obviously, throughout the levels, the difficulty is going to increase. Level 8 is going to be much more difficult than level 1. I imagine a lot of people will be able to complete level 1, but getting further and further down, there'll be more mechanics. The boss is going to hit harder, more things that you need to look out for, and it's going to be a lot more difficult. So, can you beat the Doom? That is the question. Now, Jagex have stated that the Doom of Mokahotel will be Inferno level difficulty. And if that is the case, I am so excited. I don't know if you guys know this, but when the Inferno came out, it was 3 full entire days before anybody completed it, and the first person to complete it was Wooks. If we see something that is that difficult these days, where it takes 3 days for someone to complete wave 8, I'll be a happy boy. I love watching the race to world first. It was very exciting with Yama. It was very exciting with the Yama contracts. I'm really looking forward to something that difficult coming into the game. However, for all of the noobs that are watching, this boss is not meant for you. You've got a lot of other bosses that you can do as a noob. This one is meant for the big sweats. Jagex have recommended that you are 120 plus combat, so max combat stats. However, they said it was going to be possible at about 100 plus. So after everything's figured out, people will start doing it on lower level accounts, worse gear. Eventually, everything will be figured out, just like it is with the Inferno. You've seen people do the Inferno on level 39 combat accounts. It's going to be possible to do on lower levels, but to get started, you're going to be looking to have max combat stats. Now, the lower tiers can be useful for practice, so if you can't complete wave 3, you can try again on wave 1 and try again on wave 2. You can try again on wave 3 and eventually keep working your way up. But if you're not a super sweaty gamer, you're probably better off waiting for a guide to come out. I'm sure Mulgoad Kirby or No Monkey will have a guide out within the first week. Hell, maybe even I'll have a guide out in the first week. Now, personally, I'm predicting quite a ramp up in difficulty as the levels progress. I can imagine that people will get to wave 5 very quickly. Then wave 6 will see a big difficulty increase. And then wave 7 will be another big increase on top of that. And then wave 8, hopefully, is going to be the hardest thing currently in the game. It's going to need to be something that is repeatable though, so we're not probably going to see something like the Awakened Leviathan's final phase, which is very, very difficult for people to grasp. This is going to need to be something that people can just farm out. Kind of like the Colosseum, it is quite difficult, but it's doable and repeatable. So I'm expecting the difficulty to ramp up quite significantly at the later waves. Now, in terms of what the boss fight is going to look like, obviously we don't know a whole lot. I know just as much as you guys, but it could be similar to other bosses that we have inside the game already. I imagine there's going to be a lot of prayer switching, which we see in a lot of other bosses that have recently come out as well. And I think they have mentioned that they want to make the arena that you fight in smaller. I swear I've heard that somewhere. Don't quote me on that. Maybe I'm just making it up. So it might be a case of in the earlier waves, the Doom will shoot out poison or a flame wall or something like that onto the ground, and you're going to have to maneuver around all of those flame walls, all that poison, so you don't take as much damage. So bosses to practice on would be the Leviathan, even the Awakened version for the practice with the prayer switching. Then you can also practice on the Phantom Muspar in the final phase for dodging floors and stuff like that, just to get a little practice in before the boss comes out. Now, each time you go down a delve, there will be new mechanics, and the confirmed mechanics that we know so far as you go down the levels are going to be increased boss attack rate, smaller reaction times for special attacks, lingering arena state from previous levels. As I mentioned, I think there's going to be flame walls or acid pools or something like that. Environment changes resulting in extra damage effects, which can be avoided, and additional fight mechanics and special attacks. So there's going to be a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot to learn when this boss comes out. There's going to be a lot of new mechanics coming into the game that we are going to need a lot of practice with. In terms of the gear you're going to want to be using for the Doom of Mokohotul, it is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, weak to Demon Bane weaponry. It is a demon. It is susceptible to Demon Bane. And I know you guys are all gonna say the same thing. Why would they make two bosses in a row that are weak to Demon Bane? Yama was weak to Demon Bane. Guys, it's Jagex. Do we really expect them to make smart decisions? No. Yes, it's going to be weak to Demon Bane, but my call is it's not going to be best in slot. It will be weak to Demon Bane. It will be a great option for people that can't afford mega rares, but I think they are going to push for those mega rares in this one. Scythe, T-Bow, Tumican Shadow. One of those is going to be best in slot, at least at this new boss. It is a late game encounter. It's end game encounter. This is as hard as it's going to get. Those mega rares really need to be used at these bosses. I think that it will be a great cheap option if you want to go for the Demon Bane weapons, or potentially you might even need, as we saw in the thumbnail of the video, you might need a Scorching Bow as a special attack weapon to stop the boss from moving around. We don't know. Also, Crush was shown in the trailer, but the bludgeon is kind of a meme. I'm not sure if they were just trying to bait everyone with that, but that being said, they did poll to bring out a new Demon Bane Crush weapon with this boss. A new Demon Bane Crush weapon, which you would imagine would probably be good at the boss. Now, I don't believe that passed the poll. Maybe it did. Editor Mike will put a thing here if it did pass the poll, but there was polled a new Demon Bane Crush weapon, and if that's the case, they may have designed this boss to be weak to Demon Bane Crush, which means we might see Inquisitor with the Scythe, we might see Inquisitor with the Mace, we might see the Eldermaw be a very crucial part. Who knows what we might see, but what we do know for sure is it is going to be weak to Demon Bane weaponry. So those tormented synapses that you still have left over from Yama are going to come in handy for sure. In terms of the rewards for the Doom of Mokohotul, or however you say it, it is going to drop 3 new items. Number 1, the Avernic Treads. This is an incredible upgrade to the boot slot. As it currently stands, if you want to bring max gear for every slot, you have to bring a 9-way switch, which just doesn't look really nice in the inventory, and it's very clunky. So for the most part, people will just take the primordial boots. That's going to give them the most boost with its +5 strength bonus, and people sort of just don't bring mage boots or Pegasians. Pegasians, very bad. They only give an accuracy boost, no range strength, so no max hits, which is just not great at all. So Pegasian's basically dead content for most bosses. That being said, with the Avernic Treads, you can combine all 3 boots. This is going to give a +1% magic damage bonus. It's going to give +2 range strength bonus, and it's going to give a +1 strength bonus as well, on top of combining all 3 boots. So not only does it combine all 3 boots, it also gives crazy new bonuses. This is an absolutely insane upgrade. I'm going to be buying this immediately on release. What's the point of being rich if I'm going to wait to buy items? I'm going to buy this straight away. Next up are the Confliction Gauntlets. These are going to give 2 times magic accuracy rolls to all weapons that aren't the Tumican Shadow. That being said, they're an upgrade to the Tormented Bracelets, and they have the same magic damage bonus. I think they actually have a little bit extra magic damage bonus, so even with the Tumican Shadow, it is extra magic damage bonus. It isn't a DPS increase. However, that accuracy roll is only going to work for weapons like the new Eye of Ayak, and it's only going to work for weapons like the Sanguinesti Staff, the Trident, the regular Trident, things like that. And it is a massive increase to those accuracy. And what they're using it as is a way to bridge the gap between the Sanguinesti Staff and the Tumican Shadow, because at the moment it's such a crazy gap. They have brought out the new staff, which we'll go over in a second, but also these gauntlets so that Sanguinesti Staff gets a little closer in terms of DPS at a lot of bosses to the Tumican Shadow. And finally, the last reward from the Delve boss is the Staff of Ayak, the Eye of Ayak, which is a 3-tick mage weapon, which is going to be insane. A very fast-firing mage weapon. One massive use case for this is going to be in the Nylacast room in TOB, because previously all spells are 5-tick and all powered staves are 4-tick. A 3-tick mage weapon is going to go crazy, and the Eye of Ayak actually has a crazy special attack, which we are going to go over right now. The special attack, which consumes 50% special attack energy, has a 5-tick attack speed, so 2 ticks slower than the regular attack, but it has doubled accuracy and a 30% higher max hit. Additionally, it drains magic defense equal to the damage dealt, but it can't drain below 0. NPCs will not regenerate lost magic defense. So, for those that don't know how old school RuneScape works, your accuracy roll is based on your opponent's defense and defensive bonuses, except for when you're using magic. It's based off defense, magic defense, and defensive bonuses. Magic defense plays the biggest part in this, so if you lower the defense of a monster and you're using mage, it doesn't really help you out all that much. However, if you lower its magic defense, you are going to get a massive mage increase, and this is going to be huge in places like the Tombs of Amaskit, where you use the shadow and you can lower your opponent's magic defense way down, even to 0, which is going to be a huge DPS increase. And rooms like Zabak, where you would normally use the Twisted Bow, now you will most definitely use the shadow. All in all, I'm hoping this update is going to be crazy good for RuneScape. I'm very excited to try it out on release. I will be trying it out live at kick.com/evscape or twitch.tv/evscape. I'll be multi-streaming on the day. You guys can comment along and see me try and go for world first. I'm going to be giving it a crack. I highly doubt I'm going to get it, but I'll be trying my very best. I'll be buying all of the new rewards on day 1, and I will be trying them out as soon as I can get my grubby little mitts on them, and we're going to be having a great time. I think this is great to see a new solo boss in the game after so much time. Raiding with a group is very fun, but sometimes you just want to take something on by yourself. And overall, everything looks great. I think all of the art that they've got coming out with it, it's a 5x5 boss. It looks really sick. I hope they make like its shield into a Din's Bulwark ornament kit. I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that one, but everything looks fantastic. I'm very excited for the Delve boss, and I hope you guys are too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next video very soon. Take it easy.